had some sort of gremlin in your system and you're in for a change.
Yeah, I know. It's an unusual gremlin. It's not a gremlin I normally have.
No, I'm not stressed about it at all. Normally it's me absolutely punching holes in things these last few minutes before a show going, why won't you just work? And then it was Darren.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's my phone's fault. I do not know why it will not rotate the screen. However,
someone smart who knows about phones tell Darren how to fix it. And no, it's not simple auto rotate in the top pull down menu.
No. Normally works. For some reason, it doesn't want to auto rotate. Therefore, I can't have my little egg cutting screen on widescreen.
Big screen.
Yeah, normal. Ryan Shepherd, g'day, mate. Keegan Lowe, evening.
G'day,
Zach,
mate.
the snap kick. I snap kick random shit all the time. As long as it's not Emma, mate.
Wouldn't be Emma. She'd punch the shit out of him. Yeah. I would put money on her to take him down, choke him out. There wouldn't even be time for a tap.
It's very hot here, Brent.
It is hot. I air-conned up, and you had to get a cold beverage, I see.
Yeah, I'm going to start off as Mission Impossible.
Oh,
then by the time I get to the next one, I'm going to turn things up, and I'm going to become a sparkly vampire.
Wow, gay cups for gay drinks, eh?
Stop it.
Lovely.
There's nothing wrong with that, mate. Each to their own. But yes, you've got to mix it up. Action from different points of view.
Yeah, Zach, if she behaves, she's fine. Live on the edge, bro. Live on the edge.
There, that's it.
You can delete that comment later. We won't tell her.
Shh, she doesn't know. She's probably just belted him 4 times.
I'm going to message her. Emma.
Emma. Busted.
Zach message me.
There. Hey, well, Gaz Langley. There you go, mate. Gary. Thanks, mate. Good luck for me, hopefully. Troy.
Entertain us.
Yes. Retire Rampage. What's happening tonight, gents? I have it's a little bit messy, but a clutch of double het peppery albinos. So a couple eggs had gone rotten. But you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
It's almost enough.
Cup. 2 of
1 in 16.
2 have pipped, and I'm on a roll. My name.
Brown one.
My name is upholding.
Double head to double head.
Double head to double head. So hopefully, let's see if I can have a little bit more luck.
With 14 eggs, mate. I've got every confidence, and you've blown 2, so we're down to 1 in 12 now. You can do that, Daz. Come on. That's not hard.
I think I can do it. I think that's why I had to make a beverage. So I had some Dutch courage to look.
Maybe if you crack one, I'll have a celebrationary drink with you.
Oh, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night, everyone. So, it's time to chill, relax, and have a drink.
Yeah, I'm having a cup of Cocoa Pops.
Cup of Cocoa Pops. Mine's coffee Cocoa Pops.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. So anyway, let's I had a jaw clutch all come out. That was good the other night. You got more coming up too. I've got what else have we got coming up?
What's next? Ooh.
So as you can see,
what else you got tonight? You got an Antaresia one or something as well?
No. I was hoping there was one, but no.
So it's just this one?
Just this one. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you had more. You disappoint me.
It's a common thing apparently, but see, so sorry. Unfortunately, my screen is the wrong way, and for whatever reason, my camera won't allow me to rotate it, so it's fixed, which is giving me the poops. So, but anyway, we'll just have to deal with what we got. Sorry, no more types in. Good luck, Daz. Thanks, mate. Chris Fletcher, here you go, mate. Gaz, I'm going to get a beer. You do that, mate. Mate, it's Saturday night. We're allowed to have a relax, I think.
Absolutely. You just do everything, Daz. You're doing a good job. You run the chat. You cut the eggs. You run the cameras. I'll watch from here.
You get drunk.
I'll observe. All right, I'll start watching the comments for you.
I've been busy all day, up to my neck in snake poo and cleaning and shuffling and moving stuff around. Fun day. Oh, I need.
Yes. Welcome to working man's life, Darren. When you have to work, like
All I need is my wife to clean everything for me, and I'll be happy.
ha.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
no, it's not going to happen.
I saw Ness and her finger in the background.
So you're gonna have to warn me because it's hard for me to see the screen. So this guy's had it.
You're on the spot there. You just have to keep an eye on it. Julian Hutchin, g'day, mate.
Hey, Jules.
Yes, you can put your parts order in for Monday, and Darren will pick one of everything you order. Don't you worry.
Yep. And I'll bring out one at a time.
I even saw Mr. Hutchin in store this morning himself.
What?
Yeah.
He let himself out for the day.
Well, because you won't come in on Saturdays to deliver his parts, he has to come and get him himself, mate. He's a bit disappointed he put in a formal complaint.
He could pay me extra and I could come in.
Yeah.
I've got to work out which way this goes because this camera's going the other way. Yeah, there we go.
Inside, outside, that's a Waldie.
It is.
Very MD looking too. Funny enough.
Yep.
Is that one that had pipped?
Yep, there's only two that have pipped. So we shall see what we end up with. The other one, where's the other one that's pipped? Somewhere. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, this one here sitting right in front of me. Jeez.
Yeah, that one with a hole in it.
The camera's gone out and so have my eyes.
The Chapmans in the house. Hey, boys. Good luck, Daz, from the Chapmans.
Thank
Are
you.
both the Chapmans present? I want to know about this dual account thing. Do both have to be present in the live stream or one can represent?
Yeah.
How's it work? Michael Ward. Howdy, folks. G'day, Michael. That's the other Waldie.
Got itself, I actually don't think that's a Waldie. So I didn't actually see these. He's got himself tied up into quite a knot in here.
You think it might be a pepper?
Well, I didn't actually see them. Ness actually said, oh, there's two heads out there, both dark and Waldies. I went, okay. That's the way it is. I just need to get some anti-slip paper on here because I'm not struggling to hold that.
Making a mess. Adam's family reptile. G'day, mate. Good luck. Thank you.
So back to the digging around.
Dig it up, Daz. What do we got? Richard Hudspeth. G'day, mate. You made it. You're on time and everything, mate. You're here for the second wild type. And you haven't even missed anything good yet.
That's like I think this is a. Sorry, I'm not up close. Which direction am I going? Yep.
Yeah, that way. So the light
Is that better?
gets in it. That's good.
I can't see anything here.
That looks a bit pepperish pattern, Darren.
Yeah, it does. It's very twisted in here, so I'm trying to get its head's just went sucked back in.
Show yourself.
It's quite strong. It was
It's a healthy one.
Yep.
Phil Colvin, g'day, mate. How are you?
Hey Phil.
Digging. Julian Hutchin, what's the advantage of cutting the shell?
There you go. Well, it allows for those that are perhaps born without an egg tooth and therefore cannot cut the egg to get out, or for those that have an egg tooth and potentially break them off and therefore can't get out of the egg. Sometimes the eggshell's a bit hard. Sometimes you get a thicker eggshell and they can't. So normally I always wait for, some people cut on a certain day. I always prefer to wait until the first one pips itself, and then I cut them all just to make sure that they're able to get out without, drowning in the egg because they can't actually get out when they need to. So it's kind of a bit of a safety backup. There's your head, buddy. Just poke it out. This guy does not want to play the game, so I might just leave him for now and we'll come back. But he looks like a pepper.
Better to be safe than sorry and have a drowned one in the egg after others have exited.
Yep, absolutely. So you can see on this one,
Camera's freezing up a little bit.
There we go. I'll slow it down. I reckon there's probably an update or something going on with my phone, something like that. So you can see this is part of the one that was attached to the couple of dead eggs. Another one over here. I don't know what's going on.
Nice and healthy.
Well, we'll see in a minute.
Ben Pierce, g'day, mate.
Tonight.
Good luck, Darren, says Ben.
Yeah, yep, still freezing, isn't it? I don't know why. I've never had these dramas before.
No. It was going glitchy stop. It seems all right now. Might have been the internet for a second. Tell Jared to get off bloody killing foreigners with guns and things and
Yeah, probably.
killing your internet.
Wet one, this one. Sorry, wild in there. Very underdeveloped, this guy.
Very wet too, yeah. Might have been in the bottom of the stack or something, not getting a lot of heat.
Yeah, it was. I won't disturb this one too much. It's wild type in there. I don't know if you can see or not, but I won't disturb you too much.
Let him be.
Yep.
66% post double het. Not just a wildie.
Yeah.
Added bonus.
Leak around. Yeah, it's funny, you can't tell, like, you know, obviously some of these are a little bit wet, not quite developed, and you get other ones that are like pumped, ready to get out of the egg. You know, they're all in a clump. These are in a pretty much a round clump. So obviously these guys, one was on the side, one was on the top.
Yep.
You can't pick.
Can't tell.
They could be a bit early and
Never know.
in the right spot. There you go. Want to roll with the wildies, that's how I roll.
Mate, they don't call you Wild Whittaker for nothing.
That's it. Very wet eggs.
Yeah, Curly, good evening, young lady. Tagging mother, the snake lover mother. Hi, Mum. Chloe Shaw, good luck. Oh, Faisy's in the house.
Hey, Faye.
Hello, Faisy.
No, it's definitely that one, that way, this way, that way.
That way, stay there.
Trying to get the right direction because the camera's all full.
Just a wildie, though.
Yeah, I'm on the roll. Like I said.
Wild.
Wiki, wild west.
And yeah, wet. Brendan Young, g'day. Hello again, gents.
Hey, mate.
Dave Galea, g'day, mate. Good luck.
Hey, Dave.
Good luck. Yeah, Darren. Hurry up with her luck, mate.
Yeah, I reckon. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking hard.
Yeah, Natalie, my ant eggs are at day 55. If they don't pip, what day would you cut? I only had 3 that survived this season. Day 55 on ants. I'm scared already. That's well out there. Like, days matter, but depends on the temp they've been incubated at. Temp and humidity affect them a lot. So if they look really sunken in, I would be definitely cutting. 55 is long for ants. That's ants I get at 40, 45 days. You know, even 50 days, they're about done. I would be having a sneak peek inside one anyway and see how wet they are. Oh! Now, Darren, see, it was your mate, buddy, Dave Galea said good luck, and boom, what do we know?
Well, don't know yet.
It's the right colour.
This is the right colour.
Can we have an eye check, please?
I think it's just an alb. I don't want to try and get...
Show yourself.
It's a money.
It's got the correct head.
It is.
Excellent work. Finally, Darren, from head to head, you bring the magic.
Finally. So, there we go. Just clear that bubble out of the way.
Get that head up. Oh, yes, there is the eyes.
I have no idea which way to hold this.
Hard to miss. Yeah, you got a shadow there too, but yeah, probably there.
Because the camera's not in the way, so I need to move it out here.
Yep, about there is good. That's clean. Still very wet egg, but yes, look at those eyes. There is nothing better than an albino pepper eyeball.
Yay! One for me.
Does. I'm going to have a drink to celebrate.
Me too. 3, 2, 1. Finally.
Good
Look at
boy.
that. I told you I was going to break the curse. There we go. See?
Mate, wild type, pepper. Very good, mate. Very good. Adley says 31, 32. They aren't sunken and they still react to light. Yeah, 31, 32. That should be done. I don't know why at 55 they would not be sunken in. If you're going to cut one, cut it very high and just see if they're dry in the eggs or if they're still wet. If they're still wet, just leave the rest of them alone and let them cook a little bit more. But I'd put a tiny little C cut in the very top of one and just check.
Just like this. All you'll do is like that.
Yeah, just enough.
Very little cut like that, so you can see there's not much leaking out, and just a little peeky hole.
Yeah,
that's it. And you just tuck that back down and just leave it.
See if it looks bad or looks good. If it looks dry in there, cut a C in top of all of them, let them sit.
And you can just give them a very gentle prod, and often they'll move.
Stir them up a bit.
Yep, which is why I'm cutting these quite high, not cutting them as open as like the first ones I did.
Yep.
To try and keep the albumin in there. That is a wild olive. So
back
normally, if tell me that's in a good spot there. So normally, if you just give them a little prod like this, you'll see that they just recoil. With this kind of little tap. See he's moving. It's a good way of knowing that they're all good or fine.
That's enough.
And that can just tuck him under there. And we shall leave it alone and make a mess over there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Mr. Venom Stuff. G'day, mate, from YouTube. Congrats, Daz.
Thanks, buddy.
Tyler Copley. G'day, mate.
Hey, Tyler. How are you, mate?
BJ, boys, how are we today? Going good, going good. Justin Smythe in the house. How are you,
mate?
Hey,
he's made it.
He made it, mate. He missed Daz pull out an albino pepper too, which we'll come back and have another look at, I'm sure.
Yes.
Phil Colvin said, what's the longest you'd let carpets go for? Eggs cooking time.
Well, it's subject to temperature, isn't it, really? They can take a long time to hatch if the temperatures are cool. So I don't know. I've never really had much that have gone overdue. And if they get to 60 days and the actual cluster of eggs itself is sitting at, for example, 31.5 degrees, I might go in and snip a couple, as Brent just mentioned, and see. I'll give them a prod. You can have it where things will go the entire distance and die in the egg for no unknown reason. The egg still looks good. You cut the egg, as you've probably seen us do many times, and it's just fully formed and dead in the egg, and no real reason or understanding
you can do about it.
Yep.
It really depends. Much like feeding snakes, it's a very similar story. You've got to read the egg and the condition of how the egg looks. If Daz will show a couple eggs there underneath his hands that you can see some that are very sunken in and ready, and you think, yeah, cool, they're not far off, and then other ones that are very full, they're just not ready yet. But yeah, 60 days is probably getting close. I've had maternal incubation go over 70, so temperature matters the most.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's monitoring your temperatures. This was sitting down towards the bottom of my incubator, and naturally it's just a little bit cooler. So it might only be a degree cooler than at the top, but that 1 degree could be another 5 days at the end.
Yep. It's 1 degree over 60 days. It's compound.
Yep.
Just a wildie, mate?
I think so. He's got a cool little pattern there, but I was just trying to go where's his head out. It's sitting right there at the top. That's his head just here. It's his chin. You can see the little white patch there.
Yep.
Doesn't take just like a wildie. It just had a kind of a nice looking pattern on. But
nice look. Full bit of Murray action.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Probably need a couple more days yet to get themselves out.
We get going. Phil said he's sitting at 30.5 for 57 days, haven't sunken in yet.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too stressed, mate. 30.5. That's far from cold. It's probably cooler than I cook. I'm about 31 to 31.5. But that's subject to top and bottom of incubator too. So the top might get 31.7 or 8. The bottom might get 31.2. So I wouldn't be worried, mate. At 57, I'd let them go 60 at 30 temp and see how they look.
Yeah, definitely.
See how they roll.
I normally don't rush it. It's only if I look at, if it's on a shelf and there's all the clutches underneath have started to hatch and it hasn't, and it's up the top, I start to think, oh, what's going on here?
Yep. That looks like a messy egg.
Yep.
I would, if you're worried about it, Phil, chuck it up higher. If you've got a higher spot in your incubator and you want to just get it finished off in that last few days, I will often, if I see something that looks underdone and it's getting up in the days, I will throw it up to the top shelf where it might get 31.8 or 9 and just let it cook off that final bit for the last few days. That is a lot of yellow goob, Darren. What's going on there?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It does look like a pepper.
It's a runner?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Put it under the camera, mate.
Sorry. I can't see.
I don't care. I need to see.
Which way? There we go. That way.
Yep. That could be a pepper.
Mm.
Not a lot of movement.
Yeah, not a lot of movement. So I'm not sure. It's very yellow, the albumin. So a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like it's gone a bit pesty, infected-y.
Yeah, well, a couple of these eggs didn't look great. So this guy's a non-goer, I'm pretty sure.
No response.
No. So
sadly, often you see that if they're really murky albumin in the egg, that's generally a sign something's
going off.
Dead. Yep. Yeah, something's died and just floating in there for days, and it goes pretty murky pretty quick. Poor little fella. That's a shame. It looks like it was going to be something nice.
Yeah, it was a pepper. There we go. And there's the bit I was looking for. Unfortunately.
Black eyes?
Yeah. I don't know if you can do that better.
Yeah, see it now. They almost look silver there for a second. It was just a reflection.
Oh, here we go. He's got a bit of kick. See that?
I saw the head move a little bit.
Yeah, he just took a couple of breaths.
You might have pumped him to life with your tweezers.
Maybe, I don't think. There you go, he's actually going.
Wow. There's a good recovery, because that thing looked like it was DOA.
Yep.
He might have just needed to get his head up and get some air.
Oh, I took it, yeah. There you go. I don't think he's overly strong.
No, I'd probably leave his head dangling and just let him chill. And that way he won't slip back in and drown himself.
Yeah, I don't think he'll survive. I reckon he's got to come the rest of the way, but I don't think so. I want to actually get his head up.
Yeah, he's moving a bit, though. That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm going to run out of paper. Got goop everywhere. Might have. Oh, sorry, buddy. You got the poops in and shook his head.
Let him chill a bit. What a mess that was. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wet eggs. You can't win everything.
No, nature. It's a funny thing. Jason Stewart, g'day, mate. Fascinating, Darren. Amazing knowledge and detail. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Darren's full of it. Don't you worry. He's the encyclopedia. Just depends what day to what volume you get. Sometimes it's the Book of S. Other days it's different volumes.
Either way, it flows continually.
Mate, as one folder shuts, the next folder opens on the next book. It's just a revolving, endless tale that
flow.
Very fascinating.
I am purposely grabbing these kind of bad eggs. So,
see, that yellowy gunky stuff looks like that's what was coming out of that other egg.
Yeah,
leaked out.
Yeah. Where am I here?
Oh, Sharpie's in the house. How are you, Mr. J Rod?
Sharp.
He's hobbling around, Mr. Broken Sharp.
I reckon he's playing on it. I don't reckon it's as bad as what he reckons. I just reckon he's doing it so Beck picks up the slack.
Yeah, he just wants to get Beck more involved.
Yeah,
Not a bad ploy, mate. If you can get it done,
it's obviously working.
Yeah, good on Beck for having a crack.
Yeah,
because I know Beck's not a fan. So Beck pulling eggs is a good one, mate. That's impressive.
yeah. My wife won't touch it, actually.
You're in shit for years, Jared. You better be buying flowers and stuff, and Christmas coming up. Beck's list better be all ticked off.
There we go. It's sitting right up the top. Look at that stunning wild type. This is what I really try to achieve in these clutches. That's sarcasm.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, is that better?
Yep. Just a wildie. You can see the silvery eyes.
Yep. And it makes some pretty cool wild types, though.
Clean her up. Oh, Becky's pulled her second clutch. She's on a roll, mate. You're obsolete, Sharp. You can, you may as well just get a wheelchair and she can just push around. You can just bark out orders and we'll all ignore you.
Yeah, get one of those, bras have the milk cups for men to feed your baby. You'll be right, mate. Becky can just take over.
I just had a horrible visual. Damn. Shane Scarf, g'day, mate. There's a blast from the past.
How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. It's been a while.
As a wild python, they have a high mortality rate. That is why they have so many eggs, obviously, yep. And as captive breeders, we have almost a 99% survival rate. But that natural mortality rate plays out in other ways. That's very true, mate. I think we give them absolutely every chance, in perfect conditions, and nature still says stiff shit. I will do what I please.
Yep.
That looks pepperish, does Patton?
Yep, pretty sure. Yep. He's hiding down. These are still pretty wet, so they probably really needed another couple of days, I'd say. But once again, because a couple have already pipped, it's just the way it goes. You've got to get these other ones cut. That's why I'm not disturbing them as much as what I normally do. So because they're wet, so just trying to keep them moist and they can come out on their own.
It's always that line ball choice, Ledger's saying, could it have been drowning? Is it drowning and you just saved its life, and got its head up and it's going to make it now? If you left that in the egg for 2 more days, it may never have come up. If it's a little bit weak, it's not going to cut the egg and get out. So
I don't think it's going to survive. That's from everything I've seen. It's kicking and moving and stuff, but you can see it's struggling pretty hard. So
yeah, you never know, mate. I see blackheads come out of the egg and they are dead. I am thinking there's none of these are going to work. And they sit there for 3 days with their head drooped over the side of the egg, just absolutely not showing great signs. And then, boom, they all pop out and it's party time.
Yep. So, and some nice ones at that you pop out.
Sure did, mate. I don't mind the old blackhead python.
Ooh. Finally getting something with the right colour.
Ooh. Ooh, very nice colour.
I'm pretty sure that's an alb. Well,
Sharpie says, let's see more albino peppers. They might be here now, Sharpie. He's due to hit a few. He's due 5 years ago to hit a few, but
I'm due 50.
The odds have got to turn. I said 1 year you're going to blow it out of the park. Maybe this is the year.
Maybe.
Fishing.
Very hard to see.
I saw that red vein and I was like, oh, that's a red eye. No, it's not.
Yeah. Going off the pattern, I'm thinking it is it's normal albino. I'm trying not to disturb it too much, to be honest. I'm just trying to look for the head.
Fair bit of pattern there.
Yeah, might be harder to pick up on the camera because it's not. The camera is not normally the way it should be. It won't rotate for whatever reason. But I don't complain. I love the albinos as well. That's absolutely gorgeous. Where's your head? Check down here.
Yeah, you can see that banding on the side. It does look wildish, you know.
There's a head. Got his head just sitting here. I can't quite get it to pop up. And once that egg goop goes everywhere, everything becomes as slippery as everything.
It's a mess. Why don't you get some Viva paper towel, mate? That paper towel's shit. I hate that paper towel. It's Viva or nothing.
Well, this is normally just for cleaning out the tub, so. Is that because you like Viva Las Vegas? Fail like you.
Viva Las Vegas. Yes, that is correct also. But it also is the best paper towel, even in Las Vegas. JJ Edmondson, g'day, mate. As always, it's fascinating to watch and listen to your discussions. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Sometimes you will hear some rubbish. Other times you might hear something actually helpful and useful.
Yeah, albino, I'm not sure if you can pick up here at the point of my tweezer.
Is that a normal eye I see?
Yep, just on the left-hand side of the tweezer and all the bubbles. Yep. See, I don't know if you can see the little white dot. It's very hard to hide.
Yep.
Just here.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
The tweezers, there's bubbles everywhere.
Well, if it's bubbling, it's good. It's breathing, so.
Yeah, it's all right. Oh, it's good to see a white one at least.
Yeah, well, mate, we've seen how good some of those MD blood albinos can be, so they're not to be frowned upon.
No, they're certainly up there in my favourite albinos.
Very nice. Tyson Evans, Viva all the way. Correct, Tyson. You're a smart man. Justin Smythe as well. I must admit I'm a Viva man. We've started a paper towel war now. Uh-oh, Cassidy Marshall. Hefty paper towel from Office Works. A little bit of spew came up. Is the best. Huge rolls too.
I need a drink. I'm thirsty.
Oh, my God. Hefty. I did some epic paper towel testing years ago just to be a dick and did all sorts
unusual then.
Yeah, for fun. And you know, do they tear right? How much water will they absorb? Can you wring out hefty paper towel, squeeze it out, and then reuse it like a cloth? I don't think so. I do not think so.
No. Well, most of it's used for a cleaning tub, so
yeah.
Just
I don't care if you want to drop your standards for cleaning, Darren. That's fine. I will just continue Viva on all fronts.
Do your reptiles' fecal matter need better paper towel? Do they?
Everything, mate. Even my drink here is sitting on Viva paper towel. See, like this. There's nothing that is not Viva approved.
Nothing.
Gaz Langley, Coles $2 rolls. Oh my God,
man, on a budget.
He probably used cheap toilet paper too. I bet.
Maybe it's just one in the same.
One roll does everything.
Yeah. The wild one. This one looks like not
Wildy.
Yeah, I think he's I think might be right.
Tyson Evans absorbent. It is, mate. It is like the most absorbent of paper towels. Katie Gordon, look at all the Viva love here. Team Viva here. The selector size fit perfectly in Q-tubs. There you go. It's the jumbo rolls you get from Costco, where you get the big double packs, a dozen in a pack double roll. That is the go. I have them stacked up rather large at work, as Darren has seen.
Well, I don't believe you, so I'm just going to take 2 whole packets home and do a long 12-month trial.
Just give it a little test run and see if you can be converted.
Yes.
Cassidy, I don't think we've tried Viva yet, though. Saying, yeah, there's probably other brands out there. I'm just a Viva snob, so I will stick with Viva. My wife's a cleaning Nazi, like just insane, like next level, and she's like Viva or just don't come near her. So I'm kind of probably biased because of her dental nursing cleaning abilities.
So she cleans your teeth with Viva paper towel?
Yes, very, very much so. This looks the right colour, Darren.
It is the right colour.
Ooh. Julian's still lurking around, Mr. Hutchin. He needs to ask for a pay rise off the boss if he's able to afford the good paper towel. Well,
I reckon.
If
I
he
can't afford it, mate. That's why I've got the cheap
actually worked for more than 2 hours a day, he might get a pay rise.
What? That was never in the contract.
2? Who said anything about 2?
2?
We were talking to you the other day saying, you know, you get paid by the hour. At the end of the week, you'd have to write me a check.
Yeah, that's right.
The amount of time you wasted mine through the week.
Was it Al from Ram? Was it?
Talking Coop. I don't know.
Someone.
It was funny, though.
I'm thinking this might be the goods.
This could be the money.
Ooh.
Gaza Langley, no, iconic rolls are not Viva as well. There's some other special fancy brand for that, I'm sure, but that's my wife's department. I'm not too invested in that section.
You should be. You got to protect Freckle.
As long as it's not 80 grit sandpaper, I'm fine with it.
But I thought that's what you liked.
No. PG time, 8:14 does. Be careful.
Oh, sorry. It's the alcohol talking. Just trying to draw this a little bit. This is definitely looking like the goods here. Not sure how well you can see. There's definitely
that looks like beautiful light pepperish pattern.
Yep. I'm pretty confident. This is an alb number 2 for the night. Let's just find the head in. There's the tail.
He's a good looking unit. This has got to have red eyes.
Oh, that's not.
The pattern's absolutely looking the money. Katie says, who uses paper towel for cleaning? My wife does. Get the pressure washer and hand pump out and let them air dry. Wow. No, my wife cleans hundreds at speed, and it's 1 sheet per tub. You're not allowed to cross-contaminate. So everything gets its own sheet of paper towel. I should see the bags of paper towels that go in the bin, eh, Daz, every Tuesday morning.
You're telling me.
Yes. Have you found the head on this thing? Can you hurry up?
It's headless. It's a new morph.
It's a pepper?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is, mate. I just keep.
It looks the money.
It must be buried somewhere, obviously. Because I keep going for this bit, and that just keeps.
It's bubbling, though, like it's a goer. Yeah, look at it.
That's the tail end.
Yep. Sorry, don't piss it off too much. We might come back and dig later.
There we go. Found it.
Hang on. Wait.
Wait.
Show yourself. Oh, yes, I can see it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Somebody, you can do it. He's like playing hide and seek here. I know it looks a bit rough, but I'm actually.
You have abused it since.
There we go.
Extraordinarily amounts. Hello, my little friend. That is the magic, right?
2.
Look at Dad's head from head. And what's that? 3?
2 albino feathers.
Oh, sorry. 2 from a head-to-head with 14 eggs. Now, finally, Darren's actually in front.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Wow. You know what that calls for?
A drinker.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You know, any other night, I wouldn't even get a sip.
2 peppers after 2 wild types, I was scared.
Oh, I'm always scared. I'm scared before I even start. Especially when wife goes, oh, look, there's 2 dark ones poking out already. I'm like, great, I'm on the fire and I haven't even started.
How many eggs left?
1.
1, that's it. Okay. Rachel Lee, Viva all the way. Yes, Rachel, you are also very correct.
Wow. Viva for the poo.
Viva.
Viva wipes.
Brett Modra. G'day, Brett. How are you, mate? During COVID, Viva was being used as toilet paper. Nothing it can't do. Mate, it's talent, and I guess in an extreme situation, you could probably wash it out and go again too, but that's...
I hope this one's under the camera.
No, mate. Show us.
It's not? Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. Stop it. You did not.
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Pattern.
But look at
right
the
color.
Look at the color. I don't know if
That
that comes up. The red in that.
That is one of those
the blood veins.
fire ones. Look at the pattern. What is that ocelot there?
Look at how dark that red's hay.
Yes. Yep. That banding is going to explode. Red and orange. Wow. There's a keeper.
God, look at the red in the head. I can get him to, or her, and just reds in the top of the head are like super dark.
That is beautiful. Mr. Venom Staff. Oh, Brent's giving away his secret. It's all in the paper towel. It's part of the complete quality program we run here for sure.
Look at the head.
Oh my God.
Which way am I going to roll this?
That way.
That way.
Yep. Oh,
and that way.
Plenty of colour there.
This is going to be an absolute cracker over the albino.
There's a holdback.
Let me get my gold sticker. Where is it?
Get it. Andrew Townend, g'day, mate.
Wow.
Good to see you boys chopping some eggs up there as well.
Hey, mate.
Have a look when I can. Best of luck.
Yes, buddy.
Just got some luck tonight. I can't believe it.
Neither can I.
Haley Armstrong, Victor is king. See, look at all our absolute genius listeners, watchers, peoples. Team Viva.
This is Viva.
Cheers, congrats on the 2. Yeah, mate. Very good job, Darren Whitaker. He's come through with 2 albino peppers from 14 eggs. That's not easy to do.
I don't think this guy is going to make it. He's very, very sticky.
Give this spray up. Cassidy Marshall. We've convinced Cassidy. We've given her enough peer pressure from the crowd. You can buy it at Costco in bulk. They do 12 packs for about, I don't know, $15. I don't know. Someone gets it for me. I'll just pay them. But yeah, they used to be about $15 for the big packs.
You have life. I don't get it. Someone gets it for me.
Sounded a bit dicky, didn't it? But no, Shell goes there all the time. So when she goes there to get all her stuff, she brings the magic paper towel home as well.
Yep.
Number 1 driver, mate. Number 1 driver.
Number 1. You'd be the boss.
Number 1 if you had a go, Darren, but no. You'll always be number 2.
That's right. No.
You are a number 2. A floater.
A floater. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
wow.
God. We shouldn't drink and cut eggs at the same time.
Dear, oh dear.
Rachel says, gorgeous MD albinos have that gorgeous burnt orange and reds.
Yeah, that albino is going to be an absolute cracker.
That's beautiful. I remember Darren telling me a couple of years ago, make sure you keep the albinos out of them MD clutches. And I was like, why? What's so good about it? A couple of years later, I'm like, oh, wow, these are sensational.
Yeah, I've got a few, and I love them all. That little red eye just sitting there. I don't know if I can get there yet.
Yep, he's about to push his head up and out too. So what was that? 2 albinos, 2 peppers?
So 2 albino peppers. 2 albino peppers. 2 really nice dark albinos. So this one's really dark as well.
It's amazing how light that other pepper is compared to how dark that the really red albino is. Like they're miles apart. And like you say, there's no caramel in this. This is just albino.
Yep. You could easily call this one, which you can notice, you can see there's quite a variation in the pattern in that one. It's very distinct, the patterning. Whereas this one's not. It could easily be like thinking it's a sunglow.
Yeah, you might jump on in and go, it's a sunglow, but not today.
So nice, very happy. 2 our peppers, 2 albs. No wild types.
Quite a few. It's to be expected, really. It's there should be an absolute mozza of wild types in this. Half of them. Phil Colvin, congrats.
Thanks, mate.
Ledger, good on you, mate.
Orange, choice white. That's a pepper.
Richard, good work, mate. You deserve the win. Yeah, mate. We waited a long time for Daz to put on a good display. So finally, he stepped up tonight and entertained us well.
Let me.
Lord Mitchell Robertson in the house. That's a rare man to see lurking in these parts. Shell number 1 all day. See, mate, the crowd has spoken.
Crowd has spoken. That's because I never get to go to Mitch.
No, mate. You know what happens as soon as there's a rough one. Rough,
Yep.
mate. Meow.
I thought you said.
There's some big flapping noise and you know when you hear them feathers just going and out the door it goes.
That was quite funny. That was quite funny. That
it was a great call.
There we go. I know there's a mess everywhere here. I'm going to get these back in the tub. But that is, I don't think this guy's going to survive. I really don't. He is there, and he is, as you'll see, you can see he's wriggling there. I think he was a struggler. So
his head's up. You're giving him every chance now. He can breathe when he's ready,
Yep.
and if he wants to laze around for a day and make a run at it, he can at least get oxygen. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got the black eyes. So I don't think he'll survive, just from what I've seen. But we'll let it go.
we'll see. We'll see.
Pretty sure that's a wildies. That's 7 wildies, 3 peppers, 2 albs, and 2 pepper albinos. It's actually not a badly balanced clutch. A few more visuals would be obviously a lot nicer.
5 out of 14's in front though.
Mm-hmm.
It's only looking at a quarter head to head. So 5 from 14, mate. You're actually in front of the game.
I'm not actually complaining at all. So it's better than none, which is normally what I get.
I've seen you cut plenty of these clutches and get none, mate.
Yes, I've probably cut more than anybody else.
Yeah. Yes, I would not doubt it. I have been there for most of them.
Yep.
Cheering from the sideline.
Yes.
Richard said, did that weak one have an egg tooth? Can you actually see a tooth on it? Or? Hard to pick.
You want me to see with these eyes, Richard?
I was going to say, change your spectacles.
This is the ones I can see.
They are the zoom lenses.
But I will try and have a look. I'll leave him just there. So I'll grab him in a sec. I'll just pop these ones back in. And then we'll switch over the other camera view.
Swap around. JJ, I'm looking forward to see that red one develop. It's already stunning. I'm sure Daz will be watching over that little red one for some time.
I'll tell you, I've obviously over the years I've hatched a few, and they're definitely one of my favourite albinos.
We talked about it the other night that how many you might or might not have lurking in those tubs around you.
Yes, there's quite a few.
Yes, Ben Pierce.
Oh no, sorry, what was that, mate?
So Ben Pierce saying that last albino. Wow, yep, it's a stunner.
Yep, definitely. They're quite something.
Going fishing, Tyler Copley. Congrats, Daz. This one was worth watching. It's always good when Daz actually has a go.
Thanks, Tyler. No, this one doesn't actually. From what I can see, and I don't.
Can't feel anything?
I can't feel. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's his tooth.
Something there?
No tooth.
No tooth, no nothing?
No, I don't know if you can see.
That's his mouth coming open, is it?
Yeah, that's his mouth coming open.
He's very weak, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very, very weak. Yeah, 100%. He's struggling, Unfortunately, that's the way it goes, though, as we all know.
Yep, some just never get out of the egg. They just lack the strength. They're lucky to make it that far. A lot of them die. You see so many that have clearly coloured up, patterned up, and dead. Within a few days of hatching. That's just nature. There's so many things and systems that can fail in a hatchie. In that 60-day cook time. It's just, and even in that first couple of weeks of getting established, shedding, and then thinking about eating, it's just so much process and little things, obstructions and organ failures, and so many things can go wrong, and quite often one just falls off.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, besides doing it because we wanted to share, what we do and everything else, it's also over the years, the amount of people would post up, back in the days of APS and everything, another perfect clutch and perfect hatchings, and you hear people getting on there going, oh, mate, I get 100% hatch rates every year and perfect clutches, and it's not true. And you talk to anybody, and if they're honest and open, they will tell you there wouldn't be a person that's bred anywhere on the planet that hasn't lost a clutch, hasn't had deformities, hasn't had all the things that can go wrong. And if they tell you that they've never had any of that, well, I wouldn't believe anything else I tell you. So much. Because
no, nature has its own inbuilt things to make sure numbers don't go ballistic. So
I'll just drop this off while I finish cleaning. I'll stick that there for a sec, and I'll just wipe down the F10 utensils, give them a clean.
Richard's saying, thought so. That's the perfect example as to why we cut. If that thing survives, it's because Daz fished its head out. Yep.
Yeah.
100%, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If I hadn't, I 100% guarantee that snake was dead.
Yeah, mate. You've given it every hope. It's up to it now to kick into gear and get going. But if it gets through, it gets through. But at least it's got a chance now.
Yep. Do you notice that? I had to use 6 pieces of paper towel instead of 1 Viva.
You up your game a bit over there, mate. Viva, you could have flipped over inside out, flicked it, hosed it off, and gone again.
Yeah. Hey? Bring it out. Then I'll just F10 myself. Get all that off me. Well, there we go.
There we go, Daz. There we go.
Rock on.
Woo! Daz finally hit the numbers.
Doesn't happen often. When it does happen.
Yes. Yep. Cassidy says, referring to Richard's comment, I never thought to check that, referring to the egg tooth. And we've had snakes drown in the egg. Definitely a good point. That's often the reason one may not have got out. It's all they have.
Yep, that's it. With that, and obviously, as I mentioned before, sometimes you get an egg that's just extra thick on the sidewall, and they might be trying to cut that egg, but it's just too strong for them to cut through, and it can break their tooth. So
yeah, I don't know what that is. I've often thought it's calcium. Excess calcium. That some eggs are thick like a piece of plastic. Like an ice cream container lid. They're that tough and thick, and you think no snake was cutting through this egg. They just have a absolutely horrible feel to them when you even cut them. It's
yep. Well, that's it. When you've cut as many eggs as what we have, you can feel the difference.
Yeah, definitely. You feel Antaresia eggs; they're like a thin piece of paper that you just tear apart.
Well, that was like
yeah, just rip it.
Yeah, rip tear bust. That's it.
Absolutely. Justin Smythe, well done. Congrats, Daz. Yeah, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Daz did well.
Yeah.
Samuel escaping the Wildies game, mate. Darren might have retired. He did a perfect clutch the other night, which was absolutely unbelievable for Darren.
All platinums from a platinum to platinum pairing. It was perfect.
That other clutch you did
Caramel Zebjag
last week, yeah.
Yep.
We dodged all possible things that weren't going to fly.
I think we got one. I think there was one Waldie in that clutch, wasn't there? And all the rest were.
No, I think they were all. I think it was a zebra. Like you've got zebras and things in there. Was nothing as a straight wild type,
It's a nice clutch. And the other one I showed that had 3 hatched, 2 didn't make it out. One albino zeb, one albino zebjag, and what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was.
That was albino
caramel zebjag to a pure albino Darwin, and the first clutch we did was caramel zebjag head albino to my stripe boy.
Yep,
stripey boys. So it'll be interesting to see how they come up. So I was quite happy with that.
Yep.
Finally get myself some decent albino zebs and zebjags. So what are you doing, Mr. Smith? You got anything over your way?
No, nothing.
Nothing, mate. I cut my clutch of triple hets. I'm done for the year.
Done, mate. That's it. I'm retiring. Well, once I get the Ghost Greg, I'll consider retirement. But until then, we've still got work to do.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll see.
Brent Modger, answer a little different. Sometimes if you cut early, they come springing out without taking in the egg yolk.
Very true.
So down if you down if you don't. Yeah, 100%, mate. Yep.
I don't cut ants often. They seem to get it done. I think ants get it done better than carpets. You know, I feel like they never miss. You know, I can't remember panicking over an ant clutch that has gone too long. You know, I'm always like 2 ant clutches are actually hatching in the incubator now, and they're both early. Like I'm just like, wow, why are these even out? Clutch 6 and clutch 8. You know, we were cutting clutch 1 and 2 the other night here, so they're to me they're ahead of schedule. But ants always run smoother. But I'm just amazed that they just get out by themselves. They just get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I think you're onto something, Stephen. It's taken a few months, but it's getting there.
You've been smashing it in at work. I think it's working.
Actually, you know what? It might be what's in the cup.
Maybe
that's what I need more of.
Yeah. Tricky.
That's it.
And what do you got left, mate? What's next for you? Besides these couple, one you sprung on me today. I thought I had the day off today. I was like, cool. It's been a bit of a hectic week.
It has been
a bit of a hectic afternoon. And then Daz, oh yeah, we've got some eggs to cut. And I was like, oh, you're killing me.
That wasn't quite what you said, but we won't repeat it.
I was in a public place too. It wasn't good. It's like, oh, Darren.
You're a top bloke.
Yeah, I love you, Darren.
No, hang on, that wasn't it.
It was like, no pressure, Darren, but you better put on a show. So I'm glad you did. It actually performed under pressure. So
I thought I said I need to step up after you last night, getting snows and all that other stuff. Cracky clutch, yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yep.
What's they just saying? Yeah. How often do you boys get slugs? My jungle girl has laid perfect. No slugs last year and this year. It varies, mate. Like I've had snakes go, God, a decade without. When I refer to slugs, I'm talking, slug an entire clutch.
Full slug clutch.
Yeah, full slug clutch. I've had some girls that have never ever slugged the full clutch. You might get 1 or 2 here or there, or a couple of eggs go off, but. I've bred my original albino Darwin boy and the 2 het females. They probably bred consistently for almost 12 or 13 years. I think one season I didn't breed them. And other than that, and they almost laid, a perfect clutch almost every year. There was probably a handful of slugs, a couple of slugs here and there and a couple of eggs gone off, but they were always dropping. No, big clutches too. They were clutches in the 30. Like monster clutches, and they're both. I sadly lost one of my girls to a tumor recently, and which been upsetting. But the other girl, she's in there, and my boy's now in retirement down the other end here. So he's done his last breeding duties. He's probably maybe 14 years old, something like that. I remember 2.5, 12, 10. I think 09 or something. I've got him. So they're probably 13, going on 14 years of age. So they're just chilling now. He's kind of done his duty. They've been great for me. So got plenty of his kids floating around all over the place.
Yep.
So plenty of pure Darwins, couple of pure hets here. Last the albino went for the season. So yeah. What about you, Brent?
Absolutely. Yeah, mate. No, it varies. Like you say, there's some snakes that just get it done year after year after year, but it's not. I rarely breed something 5-6 years straight. It's always, a season or 2 and then a rest maybe and then, go again. But I don't really have a need to breed something over and over and over. It's once I get what I want, I'm kind of a bit greedy. I've got what I want. I'm not bothering making any more of those. So, I let them have a bit of a rest.
Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of similar in that. It depends on what it is. So a lot of the stuff that I call my pet shop stuff through wholesaling. If they're happy to breed every year, I'll breed them every year. But stuff like the genetic stuff where you don't, if you're producing a $6,000 animal, there's no point producing a full clutch of 20 of them.
20? No, definitely not.
Because it's just not the market for it. So
no.
I normally go on the motto that if I breed it and coming into the next season, if I still got a few left over, I tend not to breed them till they're all sold.
Yep.
So I remember doing roughies and quite a few things that, towards the later stages, roughies, Roscoe Pythons being at class 2 in New South Wales, they got very hard to move on towards the end. So I just stopped breeding them altogether. I still got a pair. They're floating over here. But, I just haven't bothered breeding them. So
if they've got enough condition, really, there's no reason why they can't breed every year. Like we talked about, if you take those eggs and that snake's back on food early, it can be easily up to size, January, February, well before season, and go again. As for, I don't think it's harmful for them.
No.
But in the wild, I bet they don't breed every year. I doubt that they're just backing it up year after year after year. But if they're in an area with bulk food, I think they probably would. It's 100%. Certainly have a good crack at 2 or 3 years. I've heard stories of people saying they've got diamonds that come and breed in their backyard, and they've bred 3 years in a row where they've watched them lay clutches and hatch.
Yeah,
so,
it's what they're designed, their body cycles. So, as long as they've got the health and the condition to do so, they will. If they don't, they don't. It's same in captivity. You pair them up and wonder why you don't get a clutch. Perhaps look at the condition on the female. Perhaps the female doesn't have enough condition for her to actually, if you're getting the lockups and all that and so happening and she's not producing a clutch, unfortunately, you see a lot of photos of people going, oh, it's too fat, so obese. And you look at the female and think, God, how many photos do we see, Brent? And we're like, that needs to be, needs food. Yeah.
So, exactly. So,
when you consider a clutch of eggs can be up to 40% and even more in some cases of the female's body mass, that's a lot of weight lost in a clutch of eggs.
If that girl's worried about it, she's not going to put herself through that. If she feels early season, I'm struggling as it is. No need to go and punch out. Huge numbers of eggs.
Yep, absolutely. That was that the same thing. Should I keep breeding her each year or let her have a year or two without breeding? It's kind of what we just said.
Condition, mate. If she's good to go, I wouldn't have worried. I have bred in the early days. I bred stuff 3-4 years in a row, no issues at all. Year off, go again. Like you say, when it's wild type stuff where you're not chasing morphs and get what you want and grow that up, so you're not worrying about breeding it over and over. But yeah, mate, I don't mind having girls. I have and Darren's the same. I know you got 100 females there that you could breed. You're not doing 100 clutches a year, so you're
close to 150.
You're a sick man. But I've got 12 clutches this year. So you're definitely not breeding everything you've got. So you can mix and match it. And I'm often growing new things up, and then you've got to sort of prioritize what you're doing. So, I don't think it hurts them to have a year off.
Oh, definitely not. There's nothing wrong with it. Normal cycle in the wild would probably see a bit of that. I know at one point probably things like water pythons at Fog Dam where they had quite a high ratio of food to prey items. They probably happily breed year to year, back to back sort of thing because just the food was there. Obviously, that's changed a lot now with the cane toads being up there in the Northern Territory, but they weren't always there. And I think it was one of the highest populations in the world in prey versus or food quantity, so to speak, for the water python. So I think there's studies up there at one point. And they were getting to adult size in 18 months and breeding wild water pythons. Yeah, so
that's cracking in the wild, isn't it? We force it upon them in captivity where you're just shoving food in front of their face twice a week to get it done. But
it's because they're feeding on the plains rats. See, they feed on the plains rats, which breed like wildfire.
Yeah,
And,
constant food supply.
yeah, and let's face it, you could probably feed, subject to the size of the meal, you could probably feed your snake every second day without even batting an eyelid.
Yeah, yep, yeah, abundance.
So, and what do they do when they're young? The first couple of years, it's growth. Yeah, I know I've said it before, but they did a study at UWS on metabolic rates in Antaresia, and the test they did was like a minimum feed versus an average feed versus feed to refusal. And they found out the metabolic rates were all the same. There was very, very little difference. The difference between them was one that had a minimal feed had no energy to grow. So it stayed tiny and it used the energy to survive.
Yep.
The one that's, one's getting one pinky a week, for example, the other one's getting 3 or 4, as much as it wants to eat. It has that bit to keep it alive, and it has all this excess energy, all this spare energy,
growth,
puts it into growth. So they're shedding like every 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, like constantly. And most of those animals bred at 18 months, all those ones. And they went on to live long, happy lives. They did the project over quite a number of years.
Yep.
So the first couple of years, all that extra food they get just goes into growth. I don't think you need to do it. I certainly don't do it anymore. But, I feed them up with the ambition that they hatch now, and the goal is to breed them at 2.5 years. That's where I aim to get my animals. What about you, Brent?
Yeah, same, mate. I actually saw a similar study with that. It might have been that, or one. It was up Newcastle or somewhere where they actually dissected those animals. They did that same feeding thing after 2 years, and none of them had excess fatty cells in them. They were all, basically said you can't overfeed a snake until it's 18 months, 2 years old. Certainly at 3 years old. Like they would cut open 3-year-olds that kept feeding insane, and the thing was just a bag of fat. It was like, okay, well, at 2 years old, you need to ease off. But until then, while they're in growth mode, you can't basically give them too much. So it's wild.
And obviously with males, you aim to give them a healthy condition. With females, you want them to get that extra bit of plumpness because they put all that energy and burn all that fat into egg development.
Yep.
So the difference. Katie Gordon, what is Katie? If you pair a female and she doesn't go, it's because that's the clutch you wanted. We've all had one of those, Katie.
It never happens. Oh my God.
Or if it does go, like you see here all the time, you don't get what you want.
Yes, it's I don't know. The ones that you're dying on quite often are the ones that hurt you the most, and you remember them forever. So it certainly feels that way sometimes.
Jeez, look who forgot their late note again.
Oh, Adam, come on.
Jeez,
replay. So can you go back and start again for Adam? Just pull the eggs back out, close them up. Yay, albino, yeah, albino.
Wild type.
Worth going back, Adam. Adam actually, not Adam. He just showed up late. Darren actually had a crack and pulled off some magic, mate. So definitely one worth going back and having a little poke through the egg section anyway. Yeah,
I just hope some of the hope I can maintain the ratios in the next few clutches that are coming out. A nice big fat. I actually lost one egg, but I have a nice big fat juicy clutch coming up soon, which will be the caramel double pepper axanthic clutch.
Oh yes,
I can't remember how many eggs that was, but I know that was a decent sized clutch.
She's a big girl. She's quite mature now, isn't she?
She's a monster.
she's like capable of laying many.
Yes. Actually, here we go. I think this is the clutch. Here we go. Oh no, don't want to invite anyone. Not inviting anyone. However, you can go on, do it. There we go. So that's the clutch. So it's a nice big clutch.
That is a fantastic sight.
Yep, that was when she was laid. One of those eggs has gone off, sadly, but all the rest are still chugging along.
Can you spare it? Gee.
No.
One down, 62 to go. Very nice.
There we go. So looking forward to that one. So hopefully there might be a couple more ghost peppers in there. That's what I'll be chasing.
Yeah, they're cool, them snakes. I love them. Never
Yeah.
bred one. I got
Yeah.
one, but I never bred one.
Really?
But
Oh,
yeah.
where did you get that one?
But why's your finger up, Des? Something wrong with it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you see my nail was sore?
Yeah, still. You want to stop sticking at places.
Anyway, where we go? Yeah, Latch. Adam, always watch the replay if I miss it. Cool, thanks, mate. What's Damo saying here? First time breeder, any tips to breeding? Get them up to size. Make sure your girls have plenty of weight and condition.
Feed them heaps and be good to your mother.
Yep, pretty much. Aim to get them up to size at 2.5 years. So over that time, read some good books. Breeding's not rocket science. It's not.
No, it's nature,
really
mate. They want to breed. You just need to provide the conditions. You know, What's that rule we made? The 2.5, 2.5. 2.5 years old, 2.5 kilos for girls. That's if you can get them to that, game on. Let's go.
Obviously, less important with the males, but it's still good.
But you don't want your males at 600 grams either. People always talk about. We've discussed it before. People saying, 800 gram male. Yeah, they'll work at that age. I have no issue with a 2 kilo male either. I have no issue with a 5 kilo male.
My albino Darwin boy is a big boy, and he's done plenty of good jobs over the years.
If he's healthy and he's strong, he will get the job done. It's definitely doesn't need to be a little fat. Is another issue. Yes, you don't want fatty, lazy boys that want to just lie around all day and be fed food on a platter. But the right shape boy, no problem at all.
It's interesting. We talk about, since we've touched on this topic on a Saturday night. You often hear about people saying, I use a little male, does the job, does this. I've bred 18-month-old small males before, and I found they struggle to do anything beyond 2 clutches. I don't know. You found anything similar to that, Brent, or you not kind of pushed those boundaries, or
of what? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Of breeding.
I was reading. Sorry,
it's just like at work.
That's the other way around. I'm like, Darren, excuse me, I'm talking to you. Can you stop messaging? But yes, go again. Sorry.
Oh, here I'm picking little bugs out of my drink while I'm here. If you found small, young, say 18-month-old, sub under the 1 kilo mark males, rarely sire more than a clutch or 2.
Very hit and miss, mate. Not to say they can't get it done. Absolutely. I bred those albino Bredleys at 18 months. Would you believe that, Darren? Where'd he go? But most of the time, I find the boys it's a coin flip. They're going to fire or they're not. And it's all based, I think, more so on maturity. I've had boys nearly 2 kilos at 18 months that I've fed extremely well, still not got the job done. So size isn't the answer. Maturity levels, and that just doesn't come at 18 months sometimes because they're just 18 months. You got to remember when you're throwing them into breeding season. So,
and how about older animals at a small size? I'm going somewhere with this.
Yep, I know where you're going. Older animals at a small size, bingo. You will get extremely high rates of success with that because maturity is more important than size.
Yep. But how many producing viable clutches? Like I know a few people that have sired 2-3 clutches, maybe, but rarely beyond that with a small male. They seem to run out of oomph.
Yes. Yep. Now I know where you're going with it. I thought I did. Now I know where you're going with it. Yes. Well, tell us the story, Daz. Tell us your research.
Well,
tell us your facts.
Biggest success is one adult coastal ghost, caramel axanthic, which was an adult, decent sized, 4+ kilo,
mature too,
8 foot,
4 years
coastal.
old, something like.
Side, adult, good few years old.
Good age.
Side 8 healthy clutches. Right, it's the best I've ever had from one male.
That's a record. I've never had that. I would 4, 5, maybe.
Yep.
So that's impressive.
Right. So recently, because you often hear people saying, small males, they do a better job, this, that, and the other. Recently, there was I read about some research done by Dr. Warren Booth, who's a reptile geneticist over in the States. And he was saying, unlike, say, for example, saliva, you spit, you make more, you spit, venom in snakes, they inject it, they produce more. Sperm in males, however, is not reproducible. So once they've spent themselves, they don't regenerate anymore, according to this study.
Season.
So they have for the season. Yep. So why it goes back to what we used to say, that cooling your males is important. It obviously cooling helps produce the sperm, but also the fact that having a large male would naturally lead to the fact that it has more sperm to donate. So therefore,
bigger storage tank. Yep.
Therefore, the more females they're actually capable of siring. So when you look at that, you take a 5 kilo male and compare it to an 800 gram male. That 5 kilo male, which is more natural in most species anyway, you don't see a little tiny 800 gram or 1 kilo coastal combating with a 3 meter 6 kilo monster for the females.
Yep.
It kind of leads to the like how many clutches can they size. So I thought it was actually quite interesting.
Very much. And I've never thought about that. Before you told me that, I was like, that makes so much sense. Like we've thought about all the other options, but that is like, it's one of those moments you go, ding,
yes,
sensible.
100%. So, you hear about people going, oh, yeah, I had my little thing and it did this, that, and the other. Like, Gaz says here, my snow's 1.2 kilo in 3 to 4 years, and it locked 11 times this season. But how many eggs did it produce, Gaz? We're not talking about how many times it's locked up. Actually, how many viable clutches has it produced? I think, I remember, I'm pretty sure you're saying Monique's had a small male, Monique's Borman, many years ago, that mated multiple females as well, but only 2 viable clutches.
Yeah, it happens, and obviously different species. Ask Gaz, if you... No, don't ask Gaz that. Just
Gaz
common sense. But, if that boy's just unleashing, every second day for a month, things are getting pretty dry at the end of it, like there's just not
it's
much
going to be dry after the first one, if that's the case. Yeah.
Generally, like if they're a little boy, and there's no rest time, and that's the other factor I feel is important. You get a boy lock up, and it's a long lock for them, 12, 16 hours sometimes. They're a marathon runner. Mate, you need some time to rest after that. There's no point in throwing that into the next girl and hoping he's going to go again. I want to give him a day or two off after I see a visual lock that I know has been, been in there. So, and
that might not necessarily be. Obviously, I thought it was. You might have been the same, Brent, that it might, need to have that rest for a bit of, sperm reproduction or whatever. But to me, that rest is more about stress. You're taking that male, you put him in a scenario where he's constantly chasing the female, trying to mate with the female and all that. He's in an environment with different smells and, everything's buzzing and he's like, oh, I need to mate.
Constantly triggered.
Yep. And you take him out, you put him back in his own happy, familiar environment. He can sit down, he can chill, he can have a relax, he can have a drink, coil up, have a sleep, have a rest, do whatever. Regenerate some energy, and then a few more days down the track, away you go.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it makes perfect sense. Like it's you think about it, it's such a natural evolving thing that you just can't produce at that level for extended periods of time. So it makes it all very clear. Humans are a different species, but do you imagine, Darren, if if Ness came to you every 3 hours for a week, man, you'd be spent. Yeah, you think it's good, but I reckon by day 2, you would be, leave me alone. I'm going to sleep now. Like
100%, you would be exhausted.
You would be done
really quickly. You need to give them that nice break and a nice rest. That's for sure. So, I'm actually, Richard, if you want to keep doing the question, I just noticed Richard said, can you link me to the study of the sperm only being produced once a season? I've never heard that. I was exactly the same, Richard. So if you keep doing that, I'm pretty sure I sent you a screenshot, did I not, Brent?
To me?
Yeah, did I send you a screenshot when I read it or not? I cannot remember. It'd be on my phone, which is linked up here, I think.
You really think in the 72,000 messages I'm going to find it?
No, I'm saying you just read that. I'm looking through what it's not coming up. All right, let me kill this one here, and I'll see if I can find the actual statement that was made.
You go digging for that. Adam, so it's good to learn that you can't feed ants a lot under 2 years. I feed mine under 2-year-olds twice weekly. Yeah, mate, smash away. Ants are one of those things that love a lot of food early, and I think I'm not an ant expert, but I have found ants are much easier and higher success rate to breed at 18 months old compared to carpets. Anyway, they seem to tolerate excessive feeding and grow fast and reproduce.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I've got a statement that Warrant made. It was in regards to a comment on one of the groups I'm in, NPR chat. It says here, I'll just read it. Remember that the rest does not mean much. The timing of spermatogenesis is what is important. Unlike mammals, snakes essentially produce sperm once a year and store it until use. So your male could be depleted after the first pairing, resulting in 0 or low numbers of viable sperm for the second. So that was I'm pretty sure that might have been someone talking about Owen Pelly. So it may have been, I'm not sure if it might have been Darren Boswell or someone. I'd have to go back and find it, which would be buried in miles of chat. But someone actually had noted that the first clutch was a full clutch, the second clutch wasn't as good, and the third clutch was basically all slugs and garbage.
If you were separating him to go across 3 girls, you know, like after you check
over 3 clutches, yeah. So it kind of lead evidence in that way. So that was what I read, Richard. That's where it was. So I'll try and actually message Warren Booth and see if I can get it where that information comes from. But that was a comment that was made, and I'd never ever thought of that, because with obviously with males and that, us guys, it's not a thing. Tonight, tomorrow night, the next night, whatever, and away you go. But imagine if it was like, oh, it's winter, it's summer, I've got 3 shots.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Don't miss.
So I thought it was quite an interesting thing that I hadn't learned. It's one thing that's always interesting about this hobby. You always learn something new that you've never even given a second thought to. You just make the assumption that this is how it works because that's how it is with mammals. But not.
We've just done stuff for so long, and you talk to people who've done 20 years before we did it, and we do the same, and you hear things, and that's why it's great that there's people in the hobby who do different things. Not that they don't believe everybody, but they'll experiment with things and try different ways and have different success rates, and that's how things evolve. 20 years ago, no one was doing overwater incubation. People were doing vermiculite, perlite mix things. Now look at this overwater, everyone suddenly changed and having better results. Yeah, I think so. Like if you can find ways to improve things, but people try different stuff. That's what makes things better. I know talking to Faye the other day about, she told me years ago she has her
I've got a funny story for you for Faye. I'm going to tell everyone.
You're telling just me later, not everybody.
No, I'm going to tell everyone. Okay. She rang me to tell me to have a laugh. So
okay. Faye told me years ago she does keep her ants constant 24/7 heat. And I went, no drops, no nothing, no breeding cycles, no, just heat 24/7. I went, do they breed okay? Yep, all of them. And I went, wow. So I tried that with my ants and went, that actually worked. So a couple of years ago, I tried some carpets and thought, I'll try one rack of carpets, one vision rack, 6 tubs. I think there was 5 girls in there I tried to breed. 4 of them bred on full-time heat. And I went, the males came from elsewhere, so I'll give it the males were in other racks and came to those females. So I went, well, this seems like more fun. Why are we freezing snakes to make them breed when they can be much warmer and get the job done, So last year I tried none of anything in any rack went under 20 degrees at night through the whole of winter. They all had heat basically at night to keep them above 20 and then at 33, 34 through the days. They all bred. Last year, 38 clutches. I've got to say, I can't argue the facts of it still worked.
Yep, 100%. You say your room doesn't get under 20 degrees. I've said
that tub temperature. The ambient temps in that room probably 15.
Yeah, I've said for years, if my room gets down to 18 degrees,
Yep.
that's all it needs.
Yeah.
That's the room,
Yep.
not ambient in the tub, whatever it is in the tubs, whatever it is.
It's
And I
enough
think
they
I think I've
feel the
said to you
cold.
and many times, I got one of the first vision racks that came out when Jason Boyes imported them. I think it was like 2003 or 4 or something like that, which was a V35. I have my ants in it. I have the same thermostat on it, the same heat cord in it, and I've never touched it. I've never touched that since I set it up. And my ants breed, if I pair them, every year without fail.
They never miss.
Never miss. And I've never ever touched the temperatures. I've moved them into different locations, obviously, in the front room. All my adult stuff that I've bred this year, all the adult racks, the Python racks, everything. I haven't even touched the thermostat. Obviously, if the thermostat dies, you replace it, whatever.
Yeah.
I set up the temps, and I don't.
But you're not worrying about, oh, that girl's ovulated, I need to jack the temps up to be constant, and then, oh, this other girl's still pairing, like it takes all that guesswork. I just look at it like if you don't need to put your animals under excessive stress, letting them get really cold, is there a need to do it? I've found in previous years let stuff get down to 14 degrees, in tubs overnight. Or what many people do, heat it for 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever, and then let nighttime drop, just do whatever it does, turn off power at night. And I've been in those rooms and checked temps at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's cold. Like, I breed in a garage.
Extra stress on those animals. Yeah.
Yep, on concrete floor, and I'll check temps down in those bottom tubs, and they're 12 degrees, and I'm scared. I'm like, that's too cold. To me, I think, okay, cool. The temp comes back on, and I'll run 14 hours heat so that I can get 10 hours of actual 34 heat. Like it's not. People get confused with, oh yeah, the power comes on for 10 or 12 hours a day. You got to remember, you've got a tub at 12 degrees and you've got to get that thing back up to 34 degrees. You got 2 hours, 3 hours work to get that back up to temp, So it's, I definitely think there's merit in not letting animals get freezing to the point you're risking an RI. If you let things get way too cold for too long, you could have problems. So
there's
I just
definitely
think
an RI coming if you keep those temps too cold and don't give them enough heat to fight it.
For months, 100%. Yeah. It's more stress on the animal. It's just harder for them. So I just feel like if you can customize your animals to live that life for years, if you sort of grow stuff up under those conditions and they breed that way for 3, 4, 5 years in a row, you got it in the bag. Like if you've got an animal that's used to being freezing and hot and cold, whatever, I think that's a different ball game. But if you've grown something up and it's been set up that way, it's much less risky than worrying about RIs through winter.
Yep, and you mentioned before about having the cool temps when a female's ovulated, and that's one advantage of not touching any of your temps. There is that heat, particularly in draws. Obviously I've bred a lot of stuff in Python racks where they have that direct heat sitting straight on top of a heat cord. They have access to that instant heat. So as soon as they've ovulated, if the one at the top's ovulated, the one at the bottom's ovulated, and the one in the middle hasn't, and one's going through motions or whatever, it doesn't matter. The ones that need it will go on the heat, and you've probably seen it yourself, and I imagine anyone else that breeds has probably seen it as well. When they want the heat, they're on the heat cord. When they don't want it, they're at the front. They wrap around their water bowls. They find ways to cool down. And they get out of the heat when they want to. So they're very clever. They know what they want and when they want it, and they're providing you've got that.
As long as you can get it in the gradient,
Whereas you got a female that's ovulated in one and one down the bottom, and you're still doing those nighttime drops for those people that do that sort of stuff. I think it could be detrimental to the female. She's not able to get those eggs warm. She's looking for the heat. She wants the heat during the time of the day. She'd be out there on a belly roasting herself, getting the sunlight and getting heat and warmed up, finding somewhere nice and warm to coil up at night time. So
absolutely. And you just got to study it. If you've got, I always look at animals' behavior. When you watch over a girl a lot, and I don't have a lot of days to sit in front of tubs looking at him, so I'll just go in on a Sunday and look at where that snake is in the morning, where it is at 10 o'clock, where it is at 2 o'clock, where it is at 5 o'clock, and then through the night. And if that snake is sitting directly above that heat that entire time. It's cold. It wants more heat.
Wants more heat.
You know, like if it's not regulating, you got a problem. Like,
the animals tell you what they need. You just have to be observant. 100%. Yep. And vice versa. If you walk in your room and you look at all your racks here and everything's sitting at the front,
all at the front, it's too hot.
You want to be able to come front and back. And when you get that temperature right, you'll get that, and you know you're on the money.
Yep.
So what's that I mean? So here, I think I know a lot, but I learn a lot watching you guys. I help a guy out doing tub cleaning and feeding and snakes. Now I have over 10. There you go, mate. Put in a bit of time and effort yourself, and you get to learn.
Work-free snakes. Love it.
And you get some snakes. That's it. Oh, look, you know, we know a lot, but there's also a lot we don't know, and little things like that, you know, talking about that spermatogenesis and all that sort of stuff is something we learn. So we do these shows because, you know, we'll talk about something and someone else will come on here and make a suggestion. We're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Didn't know that, whatever. It's all about caring, sharing, and learning. So,
and it is, and it's good to get people who know more than you to pick their brain, you know, like the time we talked to Michelle and ask questions about different things, euthanizing animals or viruses or anything. And I'll ask something that I think I know the answer to, and she says something else. I'm like, what? Huh?
That's not right.
That's not what I'm wrong. Tell me more. And okay, that's okay. That's how stuff works now, you know. Like so, you know, I've been doing things to extreme levels, thinking this is, you know, this thing could be a problem. We'll do this. No. Michelle's like, no, it's fine. You can do that. You know, even you know, you can chuck an animal straight in the freezer. You know, that's okay. You know, I was always of the opinion, no, that's not cool. You know, that's a painful death for an animal. But she says no. Studies say they shut down, they go to sleep. It's completely painless. Off they go. So
it's animal ethics committee that goes through all this sort of stuff. And at one point, it was pithing, which is basically taking the head, and because in python, the brain's encased in bone. Yep. So you take it and you basically cave the head in, which is not a very pleasant thing to do. If you've ever had to do it, it is not very nice.
Horrendous.
Yep. So, you know, but then it changed, and then there was at one point it was like, oh no, put them in the fridge to cool them down, to lower their metabolism, and then put them in the freezer. And now it's just put them straight in the freezer.
Yep.
That's what Animal Humane Society, whatever it is that dictate all this stuff, says that's the way you need to do it.
Absolutely.
What's I going to say? Next season, leave heat on, bring up pollen. I get ambient temps down to minus. Yep, 100%, mate. That's where you're at the most risk when you get freezing cold temps. You know, if you're up north where it's warmer, Chris says, you know, around 12 hours a day, 0 at night, and better results over last year. It varies, you know, depending on where you live. If you're in Queensland, big difference if in, you know, the Alps of, you know, you're living down the snowy region or something where it's like -1.
Gary Langley's place, you know, it's bloody winter all year round. So Queensland, you know, they might say, 12 hours heat through the day. Yeah, it's at 33. At night time, it only drops to 25. You know, it's not like it's getting cold. So,
wow, here's a stranger, Evan Creek. Here you go, bud.
Evan,
here's a statement. They'll move to the tent they want if you give them the opportunity. 100%. Yep. Evan's. I see Evan around much, mate. I hope you're doing well. Evan's one of those quiet guys that has been involved in the hobby for that long, worked at the reptile park and all sorts of stuff, knows his shit.
And he's a YouTuber. I like it. I like it a lot.
Chris Fry, g'day, Paul. Oh, g'day, Chris. How you going, Paul? Chris, they're having their own little private community chat over there. Yeah, there's a little love session going over there on the side. Sorry, guys. We'll book you a room. Community, it's great. Chris Fry, not everyone is the same. I fully understand. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so, different areas, but mate, everyone does things differently, and everyone gets results too. You know, so I always say people need to do what works for them, and if they get good results, stick to what you're doing. You know, try a little thing in small sections. If you want to try different temps on something, try one rack. Don't just change everything. You know, just do little experiment here and there, and don't go all out. So, but the more people you talk to and try different things, things suddenly work. Some things you try just go, no, not for me. I'll do it my own way. Make up your own sort of things that work over your own experiences?
Yep. Yeah. Steve's saying here. You know, it's something we get asked a lot. Oh, what do you do? You know, do you do this? Do you do this? Etc. I normally always find myself telling people that, you know, do your research and, you know, ask 100 people, you get 100 different versions, but all within that same thing, there'll be a basics of the same thing, certain temperature, cooling a certain way, whatever. And whatever you do that season, make sure you know what you do, whether that be, I'm going to drop my nighttime temps to 20 degrees and I'm going to put my daytime temps at whatever, because if it doesn't work, you can look back and go, well, what have I done? Look over the past.
What did I change?
Month.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have I done? It hasn't worked. What do I do next year that's different to what I've done this year? And change it up. You know, it might be, you know, I'll keep it warmer. I'll make it a bit cooler. I'll put them in a bigger tub. I'll take them out of the tub, put them in a glass frame enclosure. You know, change things around and see what works. Try a different male. You know, maybe it's the male that's not done the job. The amount of stories you hear with people using, you know, a certain male, they lock up, do everything, don't get eggs. And I'm like, if they're young, that's a good sign. You've got a pair that works together. Just because it hasn't got eggs doesn't mean it's a fail. It's actually a good thing. They've done all the right things.
Cycled.
They've cycled. That's right.
Yep.
It might be a matter of over the next 12 months till that next breeding season, put more food into the girl, get her up to size. They both get a little bit more maturity, and you can almost guarantee if they've mated and produced nothing this year, next year you're on the money.
Yep.
Almost guaranteed.
Being well trained.
Yep.
Stephen Johnson, do you think shorter daylight hours might trigger the breeding season? I just sent you a picture, Darren.
Mm-hmm.
Messenger screen share that one for me. That's the setup I have in my adult room. I have several LED lights that all power down to that power point. So basically, they're all powered into that plugs into the timer, and I adjust the daylight in the adult room to suit what's happening outside. So wintertime, yes, far less hours, and I'll even shrink it, you know, an hour off whatever nature's doing to be sure they know what's going on. And summertime, more hours. So basically mimicking, you know, what's happening on the outside to the inside, because I really do think daylight matters. You know, it's something I don't worry about in the hatchery room. They're in darkness a lot. They're scared. They don't want to be in bright light. So for the first year or so, not too much of importance, but certainly by the time you're trying to get stuff ready for breeding, I think light is definitely a factor, as well as temps.
Yeah, I think that's probably more crucial if you have a room where there is no natural light.
100%. And my room's like a brick shit house, so there's nothing, you know.
Whereas
no light.
In my room, even though the light's off pretty much all the time, it does get natural light seeping in, which is enough to lighten the room up. But if you've got a room that's, you know, 4 brick walls, 1 door that's shut all the time, and there's zero natural lighting in there, 100%. And that could be something as simple as that can trigger the snakes.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. I think it matters. There's definitely. I think we talked about some rat study. Same deal. They're talking about rodent breeding. Daylight, you know, hours matter a lot. If they're just in full light all the time, they're just wired and freaked out. You know, they need nighttime. They need rest. They're mammals. You know, they got to sleep. So. Yep,
that's right. They need the night and the day. No different to people. If you lived in daylight all the time, you would go bonkers.
Yes.
So, anyway, I think we've had a good chat tonight, mate. I think we've enjoyed a couple of cold beverages.
We have. You've successfully waffled on, but I'm proud of you. You actually stepped up tonight. Good work, Mr. Whittaker. Not so wild tonight.
Yep, that's it. Very happy. A couple of albino peppers. That's 3 or 4 for the season now.
More to come. More clutches of those.
Yeah, there's more. Very small. I think there's only like 5 eggs or something or other. I've got that striped double het pepper albino clutch.
Mm-hmm.
So both the double hets are full striped animals. So I'm not sure I have a photo of them, but so I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to not hearing you
5 eggs.
whinge about, I don't get any albino peppers all the time, man.
Hey, I'm just whinging about the facts, mate.
I know, but still sick of hearing it after 5 years. Like, it gets boring.
Yeah,
So finally,
like,
now you can just shut up.
It's like the Moonglow story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, can't make one sneeze. Wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah, wah.
You know what it reminds me of?
Go on, say it.
Some guy that can't breathe.
Shut up, dickhead.
Granites. or was that Ghost Breadlight? I'm not sure which one it is. or is it both?
You drunk, go home.
Taxi! That's it. Anyway. Guys, let me have a good night, boys. Dads, soak up that wind. Thanks, buddy. I will do. It's nice to get something go my way for a change. Very happy about those. Considering I produced the world's first one and then watched everyone else produce 1 billion of them, and I'm still sitting with only a couple.
A handful.
Yes. 3 of them, I think.
Now you have a small army of on-board Whittakers.
Yep. So it's all good. So anyway, Brent, so when someone wants to get in contact to you, mate, how do they find you?
KHP Reptiles through the page is where most people come. Brent Smith Messenger. The last week has been hectic. I got to say, I don't know what's going on out there. It's just gone nuts. I've been busy. Me and Darren are working on a project that's taking up a lot of time. Work suddenly had some days of business, and there's freight week. It was just one of those weeks where it was all happening, trying to get so many things done. So I know a couple of people have waited a day or so for replies. Just chill. It's not through lack of caring or giving a shit that we don't get back to you quick. It is literally non-stop out of control sometimes here. So, just shoot a message. We'll always get back to you.
Yep, definitely, 100%. You know, we get a bit busy. So anyone wants a message, same, Darren Whittaker, really by design. Flick me a message. As Brent says, sometimes we get a little bit busy. I don't sit in front of a computer all day long, so it gets hard to get back to messages. And then when I get home, I'm trying to feed, trying to clean animals, trying to do family stuff. Yeah, you know, it does get a bit hectic. And then weekends, it's trying to keep up with the bloody 500 odd critters that are around, and you know, and all the hatchies that are popping out. It's like it's crazy times.
That is your downfall too. I've never thought about that much, but I do sit in front of a computer all day, and I'm getting smashed for 90% of it, but 10% of it, I'm answering messages. You know, so
yeah.
It takes
I try
the opportunity.
Yeah, I try to sometimes when we obviously get quiet here and there. So
and then I yell at you and say, Darren, go and do this.
I'm like, stop
Get
yelling.
off Messenger.
Stop yelling. I'm beside you.
And then I go, Darren, why haven't you answered your messages?
Or Darren, come here. Look at this.
Darren, I sent some guy to you for a snake. Why haven't you replied to him? Because you keep yelling at me.
Stop it. It's called a happy, healthy working relationship, apparently.
Like an old married couple.
That's right. Oh, well, you got to have a laugh and you got to have a bit of fun. So take the good with the bad. So,
yes.
Anyway, thanks for anyone on their Saturday night that's been bored and jumped in and said hello. Thank you. Hope you've had a couple of nice, relaxing drinks while we bored you. And we will
have a night off tomorrow night. Are we booking in a night off? Or maybe not.
Mate, we'll try. I don't think I've got anything to do tomorrow. I know I had to go through and do a clean out in the incubator today. I did that this morning. So I went through, pulled out the clutches, and, you know, obviously not everything survives in every clutch. So there's a couple of dead eggs here and there. So I had to clean up and tidy a few tubs up and dry some moisture off and that sort of stuff. So I don't think I've got anything due tomorrow, but there's a few clutches I'm looking forward to. There's a pure head axanthic pair of pure coastals that I've got. So I'm looking forward to breeding those guys. Get some nice pure coastals. One of those parents has actually got a nice bit of striping on it. So like to make some nice coastals. So I think, to be honest, mate, I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to next year. I have got some nice stuff coming up to size.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling a big season.
you have those years where you get a lot of holdbacks that all seem to come together at once, and lots of little projects you might see the end of. So that's me this year. These triple head things I've been dying for forever. You know, I feel like next year I have. You know, every year you think about next year. You know, I haven't even thought about next year because I'm so worried about getting this year done. You know, like
I've got to get the eggs. I've got to get the hatches out of the incubator.
Yeah, exactly. So you have them years where there's so much on. You have them years where there's a heap of holdbacks, and those holdbacks all grow up at the same time, and they're ready to go at the same time. So it's nice always to have something new and exciting to look forward to. Those years are unreal. So
I like. I enjoy breeding, obviously, and it doesn't matter what the clutch is. I'm always excited about whatever pops out of it. But there's always the excitement of when you bred something that you haven't bred before.
Yeah.
And you've bred a couple of things, you've got something visual, and you get them up to size, and you're breeding them, and you're making some new visual stuff that you haven't done before.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm really looking forward, like the white line coastal line is, they're all firing along.
Stunning snakes.
And mate, there's going to be some stunners in there. Same as some of the fluoro jag stuff, fluoro zeb jag stuff. It's all starting to come up to size, so I'll get back onto those again. So there's, there'll be a whole new range of different things. So hopefully by then our economy's better. maybe we can sell some more stuff. But But anyway, all right.
We'll see.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Good night, and we'll see you soon on the next one. Good night.
Take care, guys.